My name is Nnanna. I want to stand on all existing protocols to talk to you about our understanding of the oil and gas space in Nigeria. My job as CEO of Oilserv is really very simple. When I support the CEO of the business is to be able to see the future, understand and anticipate that future, and most importantly, ensure that we are deploying the right systems, processes to ensure that we mitigate the risk of that future, as well as to try to reshape the future. When we think about the oil and gas space in Nigeria, I just have 4 slides, and I promise to only talk for 5 minutes. So let me set my clock so that I can hold myself accountable. All right. So there are a couple of things that we need to be aware of when we think about financing independence within the Nigerian space. The first is really around what financial structures are available or accessible. I spent 20 years working across 15 different countries and and one part of my job was to try to get investments into Nigeria. Basically still investments from Brazil, still investments from Vietnam, Malaysia and all, and encourage people to come to the continent of Africa, but also then to the nation Nigeria itself. And the narratives are the same. Firstly, what is available to us and why is it not working? I think when we look at the financial structures available to us as an entity, one of them is project financing, as he has mentioned. But that means that your projects have to be bankable. It means that your projects has to make sense. It means that the economic fundamentals of the project must be such that it excites an investor to want to invest. Number 2, there is the possibility of JV financing and strategic partnerships that can be entered into as a means of unlocking finance for projects. There is the issue around private equity investments and getting private equity people to look at our country, but also to then invest in areas that are important to us. There is asset-based financing opportunities available for us as a country, but also as businesses existing in Nigeria. There is vendor financing, which is something that I think we need to explore a little bit more. In which case you're partnering with your suppliers to be able to help manage your cash flow. There are issues around the issuance of bonds, extra credit agencies, government supports, and so on. However, there are 4 things or 4 specific areas of concern for me when we think about being able to finance. The first is that the macroeconomic fundamentals must be correct. The second is the company's finance has to meet certain basic fundamentals. It has to be right and it has to be strong. Asking someone to invest when we've not done the homework around our macroeconomic fundamentals, or the financing of the business or the financial fundamentals of the business is not strong. It's like a soap opera. It never works. Investments is a lot of hard work. And the person who is going to invest in your business must have confidence that you are doing the right things and that you are headed in the right direction. There must be synergies across board. There must be a compelling storyline. And I think that that's one of the difficulties we have at the moment as a country. We do not have a compelling storyline. Why should I? Because when I look at the fact that we are competing globally with multiple countries for the same amount of money, the question is, what is the story that we are selling? What is the story that enables us, convince an investor not to go elsewhere but to come here? We must have a compelling storyline. And we need to have a narrative that shows that we understand the issues, but we are also very, very clear about where we are going to as a business, but also as a nation. Number 2, some of the challenges of being able to access some of these divested assets. Of course, the first is financial constraints. It takes a lot of money to acquire these assets. Next slide, please. Second is access to capital. Without a compelling storyline, you can't get access to capital. Without access to capital, you're not able to buy these assets. Third is issues around technical and operational capacity. The issues around the complex regulatory environment that you have to navigate in order to be able to successfully acquire and operate these assets. There are still countries that are interested in Nigeria, so that puts a lot of competition in that space. There are political and security risks associated with any acquisition. There are issues around infrastructure and logistics. Some of these assets are in very remote areas where it's difficult to be able to access them. So even after you buy them, it's a logistics nightmare to be able to evacuate your end products. There are community relation issues. The corporate social responsibility issues. The issues around technology and access to technology and innovation. And that means that in order to navigate correctly, we need to have multi-party collaboration. We need to improve access to finance and technology. We need to streamline our regulatory space, and we need to foster a lot more sustainable partnerships. As we think about the value of having indigenous companies take over some of these assets, it is very clear that a couple of things are necessary. One is the ability to then improve on technical training and skills development, because now we can transfer skills to our locals. It creates more room for partnerships and collaborations, which then have the knock-on effect of local development. There is, of course, the local content development as well as the training and mentorship opportunities that exist. There is the issue around significantly more investments in research and innovation. As I close, there are a couple of government initiatives that are actually helping us to get there. I think that we need to ramp up on some of these specific initiatives. One, of course, is the NCDMB. Its role is very significant in helping indigenous oil and gas companies make progress. The second is, of course, the NIPEX that creates a platform where people can actually bid in a much more transparent manner when it comes to procurement as well as execution of projects. The Local Content Act, marginal field development, the existence of the PIA, and of course the opportunity to get technical assistance and capacity building. It is my confidence that if we get these things right and we create a compelling narrative for our country and we have the right fundamentals at a company level, we will be able to transform the space in Nigeria. Thank you very much.